Hello and welcome to the How to Turn Your Vision Board into Reality Masterclass. I am your facilitator, Laura Sanzo. So who is this masterclass for? This is for you if you are ready to become crystal clear in the life that is going to keep you up at night and get you up in the morning feeling a sense of joy. This is for you if you're ready to become the version of yourself that is going to make this a reality. And I will tell you why this is so important. This is for you if you're ready to live every day with more intention so that when you are in inspired action, it feels easy and effortless. This is for you if you're ready to balance your masculine and feminine energy so then you can always feel in flow. This is for you if you are ready to feel physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually aligned. And this is for you if you are ready to step into your power and create the life that you have always dreamt of. This is for you if you are somebody that has continually leaned into practices like visualization or affirmations, but you're still not getting the results that you have hoped for. This is for you if you're feeling frustrated, disappointed, or like things are never going to happen for you. And I can totally resonate with that. This is for you if you have made the conscious decision that you are ready to live beyond your cursed circumstances and turn your vision board into reality with ease. And when I say vision board, I'm really using it as a metaphor for your life in general, all areas of your life. And again, just to circle back to what I had just said, really creating that life that is going to keep you up at night with excitement and get you up in the morning feeling a sense of joy and alignment and purpose. In the next 60 minutes or so in this masterclass, I will give you the best tools and give you the step-by-step system that will have you turning your vision board into reality with ease and embodying the identity that is a vibrational match to it. And I'll tell you why that is so important. And we'll talk about this as we move through the masterclass. So for a lot of us, when we are utilizing tools like vision boards, affirmations, we're really leaning into the universal law of attraction, right? That our thoughts become things, which is true. What a lot of us fail to do, and where the opportunity lies for a lot of us, is to really tap into the prerequisite law, which is the law of vibration. So we attract to us what we are a vibrational match to. And unfortunately, for a lot of us, we are trying to attract something while feeling a very contrast vibration. I'll give you an example. For a lot of us, we're trying to, or having the intention to, I'm not really a fan of the word try, so I'm going to just reframe that with the intention. We're setting the intention to attract in money. However, we are feeling broke and a vibration of lack and scarcity and survival. So they're very contrast vibrations. So what we're going to do today in the next few minutes is really lean into that feeling. And it really is that feeling that is going to allow us to become a vibrational match to whatever it is that is on your vision board. I do need your attention. You have made the decision to be here and to listen to this master class and invest in yourself. And I have to really congratulate you on that. I truly believe that the universe invests in those that invest in themselves. So it will definitely pay off for you. So take the time to invest in you, take truly to take in all the information, give yourself the freedom you need to take action on what you learned today. I am somebody that is a huge believer in integration. And when I'm mentoring people, I always give them call to action, what I call embodiment work. I feel for a lot of us, we're working with some of the best coaches, we're reading all the books, listening to all the podcasts, but we're just not integrating. So that integration piece is so important. So you'll find as we're moving through the master class, we are truly focusing on action and integration. I can promise you this information will change your life like it did mine. If you haven't yet already, I highly recommend you get something to write on and with. You're going to want to have something with you. As we move through the identity work and the clarity work, I will be giving you prompts to work through. And also, I want you to intuitively just lean into anything that comes up for you as we move through this masterclass. And we'll work on that intuition piece and really honoring your intuition and really starting to lean into that practice. Sorry, I just fast forward. So is this you? And this was me for a long time. So I totally resonate with you. Do you feel like you have a voice waiting to be heard, a purpose to live out? Yeah, guilt that you even want something for yourself, always getting so close to you want for to say getting so close to what you want for it to just slip away. You have a vision and goals, but always feel blocked by something. If that is you, and like I said, I will tell you a little bit about my story in the next few seconds. You'll learn that that was very much myself as well. So if that is you, you're in the right place. If you have been asking yourself, when is it going to be my turn? You are in the right place. And I have something to say to you. If you have tried to manifest your vision board, but it didn't work, it's not your fault. If you have thought that if you just think about what you want and it will manifest into reality, yet it just never happens for you, the real issue is this: the feeling always comes first. So, very much like what I was speaking of to before, the feeling always comes first. And one of the intentions of this masterclass that you are watching is going to really allow you the space to start to embody that feeling of whatever it is that you want. After this masterclass today, you will know how to embody that feeling and have a clear understanding of the law of vibration, which we were just talking about. My goal for this masterclass is to give you all the tools, ideas, and confidence to turn your vision board into reality with ease and for it to feel good, effortless, and safe. And you're going to see throughout the masterclass, this is a common thread that we're going to really lean into, things like ease and alignment and flow. Because, like myself, a lot of us, or like how I was, a lot of us are really held hostage by this programming that things need to be hard, that we need to hustle, that we need to sacrifice, that we need to just survive. So during this masterclass, we are going to really allow ourselves to reframe and transform that programming. No one mapped out this path for me the way I'm about to break it down for you in this masterclass. I have spent the last couple decades in energy medicine, and I have gone thinking that life was happening to me to create a life that I'm excited to wake up to every day. I left a career that I found no purpose in and took a leap of faith in entrepreneurship. My background is retail management and operations. Here I fell in love with showing women how to flourish and literally transform into the higher version of themselves. Receiving abundance has become my natural default setting, and I believe that you are worthy of that as well. I have become the creator of a life that brings me joy, and now it is time for you to have the same. You are in the right place if you consistently think that life is happening to you and you want to start showing up at cause for your life. For a lot of us, and again, this was me for a long period of time, we are saying things to ourselves or to others, such as, this always happens to me, I have no luck, my circumstances are never going to change, very much a victim mentality. And this, if you are hearing yourself say these things, either to yourself or to others, probability is that you are living in effect. And with the tools that you're going to learn here today in this master class that you're going to be able to fill your tool bag with, you're going to be able to start showing up for yourself and showing up at cause for yourself. You're going to gain the intention and the awareness so that when things come up, you're able to go from saying things like, this always happens to me, to things like, okay, I've seen this before. What do I need to learn? What actions may I be taking or not taking? What thoughts may I be having that this is continually showing up in my life? And start to really showing up every single day at cause. You're in the right place if you are a beginner to the world of energy work, but you are passionate, ready for change, and you're ready to make this happen for you because you know how precious life is. And this is also for you if you are a C-suite six-figure earner. This is all about getting to the next level of ourselves, regardless of where we are on our journey. The work is always the same, and we just consistently rinse and repeat it as we elevate and continue to elevate. You are in the right place if you are ready to attract things into your life beyond your wildest dreams by operating the frequency of your higher self with ease and intention. So a little bit about myself. My name is Laura Sanzo. I'm a life and success coach based out of Toronto, Canada. I am also a clinical hypnotherapist, neurolinguistic programmer. I have a tool bag full of incredible modalities. It wasn't always the case for me. Not that long ago, maybe just over a decade ago, I had hit rock bottom. I was essentially the opposite of everything we're going to talk about today in the next few minutes. I was unaligned in every way possible. My default setting was stress, anxiety. I constantly found myself in fight or flight mode. My fight and flight response system was constantly activated. I was stuck in a marriage that I was losing myself in. My son had just been flagged and would later be diagnosed with autism. I was in a career that all I knew, though, left me unfulfilled and away from my kids. I was drowning in debt. Everywhere I turned, there was more circumstances of lack. I continually attracted more and more of what I didn't want. And that's because I didn't know what I know now. So for myself then, and here's another incredible universal law, the law of expectation, I was always expecting circumstances of lack, like debt. And of course, what we put our time and our energy and our focus on multiplies. And that's why I continually attracted more and more circumstances of debt and lack. And then I took my power back and decided that I was meant for more, that my purpose was so much bigger than I was showing up for. This is when I started to learn how powerful our minds are. Soon after that, I read a book called The Secret, which I'm sure so many of you have as well. I realized that if I learned how to be more intentional with my thoughts, I could change my circumstances, and I'm going to teach you how to do that today as well. This is the universal law. I started redirecting my thoughts to things that I did not want, that I did want. I started to take better care of my body. Our bodies are servant to our minds. And as my mind got stronger, my body got stronger, and I found more alignment spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally. I started to become more intentional with my days, and I'm going to show you how to do that here today. I started to spend time with people that breathe life into me and were energy vampires. And for the first time in my life, I invested in myself and in my growth. I invested in a coach. I fell in love with investing in myself, and I have done that over and over and over again. And I can promise you that I consistently do it over and over again. My life has changed dramatically in the last few years. I am now what I consider a deliberate creator. Instead of creating from a place of scarcity, I now create deliberately. And I'm going to show you how to do that today as well. I've learned to keep my focus and energy on what I want. I have a clear understanding of the power of the mind and body connection. I understand how making daily shifts in our lives can help reduce stress, keep us in a continuous state of joy and overall being. And when we talk about the manifestation process and the attraction process, it really expedites the process when we can feel elevated emotions like joy and appreciation and gratitude. I consider myself a super attractor. Instead of debt, I'm now manifesting unexpected checks. Thank you, more please. I left a career that I found no purpose in and found my love and servantship in entrepreneurship. And now I decide my own worth. And I have the tools to design a life full of intention and joy. And now I want to help you design a life full of intention and joy as well. But it didn't come easy. I didn't know anything when I started. I was scared. I made a lot of mistakes. But going through all of these mistakes helped me create a system that is easy and simple to implement for yourself. So do you want the easy method? Do you want to keep it simple when the rest of the world is telling us that has to be hard? And again, for a lot of us, and this was me for a long time, we are held hostage to this programming that success has to come with hardship and sacrifice. What we will cover in this masterclass, we will get crystal clear on what it is that you want, because uncertainty holds a vibration. For a lot of us, we're still unsure of what we want, or we feel things like resistance and frustration. And this really delays the whole manifestation process, because all of these mixed emotions and thoughts and actions and language hold a vibration. We will get crystal clear on who is the version of yourself that is going to make this happen. So then you can start showing up every day in that identity. We are going to talk about how to live with more intention, because with intention comes awareness. And we talked a little bit about the importance of that, and we'll talk even more so. We're going to learn how to move away from the hustle of learning how to balance your feminine and masculine energy so that you always feel in flow. And finally, we are going to learn how to feel more aligned physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually so that it feels good. So through several prompts, we're going to gain clarity of what it is that you want in all areas of your life, and lean into practices like mental rehearsal, which is an incredible tool for your tool bag that will really help or allow you to get into the feeling of already having whatever it is that you desire materialize. Because the reality is, it's already here. If it's not yet materialized in its physical form, that just means that you have a little bit of work to do spiritually, emotionally, and or mentally. But everything is available for you. Secondly, we're going to go through some prompts that will get you crystal clear in the identity, the version of yourself that is a vibrational match to this. Remember, the feeling always comes first. So doing this work will really allow you to start showing up as that version of yourself. And we're going to talk about why that is so important. Then we're going to lean into any contrast between who they are and who you are today. So you know what change work that needs to be done, and we all have change work that needs to be done on a continual basis. Then we're going to go through some practices that will show you how to have more intention in your days so that they always feel in flow and that you are running your days and your days are not running you. Then we're going to lean into the difference between masculine and feminine energy, going through an ideal day exercise so you can really set the intention of adding more feminine practice to really balance out that masculine energy. So then again, you feel like there is that balance and you're allowing yourself for rest and to be in a state of receiving. And then finally, I'm going to show you how to feel physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually aligned through your intuition. We're going to talk about some things like morning evening routine, self-care practices, intentional eating and movement. I am someone that believes and mentors that the way we do one thing is the way we do everything. So my intention with this masterclass is to not only allow you the space to start embodying the identity of your higher self, but allowing her the space to show up like that in all areas of her life. You don't need to be constantly stressed, hustling, exhausted, filled with anxiety, settling, wondering, when is it going to be my turn? You can create the life you have always wanted. So I'm going to ask you, before we get into the training, I want you to give yourself the space to mentally or verbally, if you choose to, give yourself permission for the next few minutes to really lean into your imagination. For a lot of us, we were told a long time ago to stop dreaming so big, to stop thinking so big. So I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to ask yourself to give yourself permission to allow your imagination to run wild, to allow your subconscious mind to come up, and allow that critical part of your brain that is always working to just take a coffee break, so you can allow your subconscious and anything that intuitively is feeling called to come up. You're going to want to stay to the end, because at the end I will share something that is super exciting that I know everyone is going to love to hear more about. But before we do that, we are going to start the integration piece of this master class. So as we move through these journal prompts that have the intention of really allowing you the space to start thinking about what your life is going to look like when you are up all night with excitement, getting up in the morning feeling joy, alignment, that you are in purpose. What does your vision look like? What does that look like? Regardless if you have it on a vision board or not, I want you to start thinking about that. And these are just generic prompts. I want you to really lean into anything that comes up. Write down everything and anything that comes up. There's no such thing in this space of thinking too big or thinking too big. I want you to truly commit to the notion that everything is possible for you because it is. I want you to also just note that we are doing this practice not as the version of ourselves that are sitting here today listening to this master class, but as the version of ourselves that is the vibrational match to whatever it is that's on your vision board, whatever it is in your goal setting, whatever intentions you have. So in this purposeful life, in this life of alignment and joy and fun and expedited high level, high vibrational emotions, what time are you waking up? Are you waking up with an alarm clock, or are you waking up when your body feels that it's ready to wake up and easing into your day? Are you working a job that you have no purpose in? Or have you turned your passion into profit? Maybe you have multiple businesses, multiple streams of income. Maybe you are a C-suite six-figure earner. Maybe you are a director. Perhaps you hold a leadership role. Perhaps you're a board member. We are going to do some deep expansion work in the next few minutes. We are going to break through your upper limit programming. So I'm going to take notes, and this is going to come up in a slide in the next few seconds. However, it's going to be so normal for you. You might start to feel uncomfortableness in your body as you expand out of your upper limit program. You might have a voice in your head start saying things like, that's never going to happen. How do you even think that's possible for you? Be more realistic. This is when you need to start leaning into your awareness, recognize what is happening, give gratitude for it. It's just giving you a marker of what you need to work on. And at the same time, if you're writing something down and you start to feel tension in your body or that voice starts to get louder, just asterisk. All that means that that's just some change work that needs to happen. What are you doing for fun? Where are you living? You have multiple homes. You have properties that you rent out for additional income. Where are you vacationing? Bali, Tulum? Do you have multiple vacation homes? What are your passions? Remember, you are creating a purposeful life. What does that look like? Where are you giving your time? Are you aligning with things that are aligned with your core values and principles and your mission and your vision and your purpose and your why, which we'll talk about in a few seconds? How much money are you making? When you go into your online banking, what do you see? What do you feel? Your accounts are in overflow. What does that look like? And what does that feel like? What are you driving? Are you driving multiple cars? Or maybe you have a driver. Where are you shopping? I'm going to assume you're shopping at the stores that you want to versus what might be your current reality of shopping at the stores that we can afford, right? This is where we need to expand. Give yourself that permission to expand. Who are the people that you are surrounding yourself with? What are you eating? These are very much geared towards that aspect of the way we do one thing is the way that we do everything. How are you feeling your body? How are you feeling your mind? How are you moving? What do your mornings look like? What do your evenings look like? How intentional are you being throughout the day? What does your self-care look like? What are you doing to have the affordability to continually be in a high vibration, doing things that make you feel good? How are your relationships? Remember, the feeling always comes first. What emotions are you feeling daily? Of course, on this human experience, it's unrealistic to think that we can always be here, right? But just overall, what vibration do you hold? How do people feel around you? What kind of things are you saying to yourself? I'm going to assume that they are going to sound a lot different than what you're currently saying to yourself. Probably they're going to sound more like, I am worthy, I am deserving, Money comes easy and effortless. Honor whatever's coming up for you. What kind of things are you saying to others? I'm going to assume that you are having conversations about expansion and growth versus gossiping or talking about debt. What are you no longer available for? Perhaps continually saying yes when you mean no. Don't rush through process. Take your time. Again, these are just generic prompts. Allow anything to come up, record it. And as you are expanding, if there's any uncomfortableness, totally normal. It would be abnormal if you weren't feeling that. Just record it so you know where your change work lies. Now it's time to unleash this version of yourself. And I think it's important to know that they're already inside you. You just need to give them the permission to rise. And when we circle back to that point of that the feeling always comes first, this is so important, because one way to really allow ourselves to become the vibrational match to whatever it is that we want is to start showing up as that version of ourselves with the intention of feeling it. You need to feel it. For a lot of people, they say things like, when I have the position, I'll start showing up as a director, or when I have the title. When I have that income increase, I'll start to feel a little bit more worthy. When I'm in a relationship, I'll start to give myself love. And it really is backwards programming. The feeling has to come first. We need to start to feel like a director before the title comes. So this version of your elevated self, what characteristics does she hold? What habits does she have? What beliefs are embedded in her subconscious? What programming runs through her mind? What paradigms is she making decisions based on? And this is so important, because for most of us, we're making decisions based on the version and as the version of who we are today, who has manifested our current reality. And the secrets and the magic is really starting to make decisions as the elevated version of ourselves. So in those moments, we're asking ourselves, okay, this may not be comfortable for who I am today, but how does the version of myself that has attracted in my vision board, what decision would she be making today? And make that decision. And I promise you, your life will start to change. What identity does she hold? How do people feel when she walks or they walk into a room? Now, again, let's be honest with ourselves, because this will allow us to recognize where that change work needs to happen, where we may need to be showing up differently in our lives, where we may need to be showing up differently in our lives. So just go through any contrasts of, for example, if one of her habits is that she wakes up an hour earlier to allow herself some time to set intentions for the day, to meditate, whatever, and you're currently not doing that, then just asterisk that, because this is change work and work in every area that we can start doing. And I just want to make a note that we are doing identity work because identity work is so powerful. For a lot of us, we do a lot of changes at the surface level, or we change our environment, and we think that this is going to generate long-term results. And the reality is, to generate long-term results, we need to make changes at a higher level, subconsciously and at the identity level. So now that we have gained clarity on what it is that we want and who we need to be to make that a reality, how can we do this with more ease and flow and more intention, especially when it comes to our energy? Because I truly believe that if we change our energy, we change our lives, because majority of us are waking up every single day in the same energy, in the same state, thinking the same thoughts, taking the same actions, feeling the same emotions, saying the same things, thinking that our life is going to change. And that really is the definition of insanity. Assuming that those are things that have not been working for you up to now. But when we can start waking up every single day, thinking different thoughts that are going to generate feeling different emotions, that are going to generate us taking different actions and having different behaviors, then we're going to start to generate different results. We schedule all of our to-dos into our calendars. However, we never schedule the time that we need to take for ourselves. So starting today, whether you use a digital, and here's the integration piece, calendar or paper calendar, between each of your tasks, I want you to schedule a few minutes where you give gratitude for the task you just did and set the intention for a task that you are about to engage in. And we'll put this into practice in a second. Whether this is taking some time to close your eyes, doing a little mindful practice, and if time allows, maybe perhaps go outside, get grounded with nature. By adding these little moments of intention between tasks, it will allow you to feel more flow and awareness throughout your day. So we're going to integrate this. I'm going to get you to close your eyes. And I want you to just focus on your breath and give gratitude for the first portion of this masterclass. Perhaps reflect on something that came up. Perhaps have appreciation for the fact that you committed to yourself. And then I want you to set an intention for the next portion of the masterclass. Maybe perhaps it's to be more attentive, to allow more space for things to come up organically. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. And I want you to think for a second how more at ease your days would be if between tasks to task or meeting to meeting, energy exchange to energy exchange, however your days play out, you were able to add this element of intention and awareness, what that would look like. And being able to be present enough to not allow downward spiral momentum to take effect and be able to be so present that we're able to have the awareness to say something like, okay, you know what? I think that I could have showed up maybe a little differently in that meeting, maybe brought a different energy. Okay, maybe the thoughts that I was having during the meeting weren't serving me. I could have maybe thought something a little different, maybe had a little bit more enthusiasm, but I'm truly appreciative because I am proud of what I did. Or before you go into the next energy exchange, I'm about to go into my next energy exchange. I'm setting the intention for these outcomes to materialize. This is energy that I want to bring. This is the type of energy I want reciprocated. And it's just adding that element of intention and awareness and stillness that will really allow you to be conscious of what is happening in your life, because so many of us, we are essentially living life unconsciously. How are you enjoying the training so far? Masculine and feminine energy. We all have masculine and feminine energy in our bodies. It has nothing to do with gender. And both males and females can tap into both essences. Typically, one of these energies is dominant. So what does that look like when we're tapped into our masculine energy? For a lot of us, this really is our default setting, especially for those of us that are in business, that are in corporate, where we may have been in the past, where we are really programmed to be in action. And it's also a lot of societal programming in the sense that if we are not hustling, if we are not in action, then nothing is happening. We're not generating results. And I'm going to tell you, nothing is further than the truth. So that masculine energy looks like the need to feel successful and purposeful and supported and focused. It looks like using our left brain, our logical side. It looks like rushing through the process and is decisive in our actions. It looks like more willing to take risks, plans, and crave structure. It looks like relentless pursuits of achievement. It looks like setting boundaries around emotions and relates through games and camaraderie. When we are in our feminine energy, We feel the need to be connected, valued, appreciated, nurtured. We use our right brain or emotional side. We feel into things. Remember, when we're talking about the manifestation process, that feeling is so important. We're understanding compassion and feel as being. We're receptive, calm, fluid, in tune with our emotions. When we are in our feminine energy, we are allowing things to show up for ourselves. We're not blocking it by forcing. We see this big picture and we are enjoying the process. We're trusting, we're surrendering. And this is allowing things to just magnetically attract for us and show up for ourselves. We are creating community through listening and sharing. So now the integration piece, I want you to go through your current days and I want you to think about how much of that time is spent in our masculine energy. So really essentially in action, right? And we do need that balance. We do need that balance. You know, imagine running a business and not having any structure or strategy. Just obviously it wouldn't be successful, right? So we do need that balance. I want you to just for a few seconds, go through your current days, think about where you have that masculine based action throughout the days. And then I want you to start thinking about what I call, this is almost a modified ideal day practice. And just think about what your ideal day would look like. If you still had those masculine tasks, which are so important, of course, but you were really setting the intention to hybrid them with more feminine practices. So things like meditation, movement, grounding walks, prayer, writing, drawing, inner child work, leaning into your creativity. What would that look like if you start to really incorporate both energies? And it would add more balance, of course, but it will really allow you to have more time to be in that vibration of receiving, because there is so much power in rest and there's so much momentum in rest. For a lot of us, we're trying to co-create from a place of scarcity and lack and survival with unregulated nervous systems. So this is really going to allow us to start creating from a place of abundance. And again, alignment and trust and surrendering. Intuition, I am just going to shit myself. Intuition is the ability to know something without analytical reasoning, bridging the gap between the conscious and non-conscious parts of our brain. So to practice using our intuition, we're going to do a very brief meditation. And as soon as we are done, I want you to list anything that comes up for you. Exactly what we did when we were running through the prompts. The intention of this is to really allow you to get into the habit and not only listening, but trusting your intuitive downloads. This is so powerful, because what's going to end up happening, you're going to start to feel that you are being supported through life and not forcing things, but actually almost being led. And what happens for a lot of us, and where the opportunity lies for a lot of us, is that when we are decision making or whatever that looks like, we are leaning into a lot of outside narrative, getting a lot of opinions, and that really dims our internal voice, which is so powerful, whether you call it intuition, source, whatever verbiage you use. It really is the most powerful guide that we have. So this exercise, again, has the intention of allowing yourself to start to tune into that. So wherever you are, I'm going to ask you to just continue to sit quietly, relax, comfortably. Want you to start focusing on your breath. Lower your chin slightly. Now I want you to place your hands so that your index fingers and your thumbs are touching at the tips. Almost like that. And you could close your eyes if you haven't yet done so. Start breathing deeply through your nose from your diaphragm. Hold your breath for a moment. At the end, inhale. And then exhale through your mouth. So you're holding your breath as you're inhaling and then exhaling through your mouth. As you do so, you can feel your face start to relax. Feel all the little muscles in your face starting to relax. Start to feel this relaxation extending all over your body. As you're starting to relax more and more. As you do, you can focus your attention between your eyebrows, If you're feeling called, you could raise your hands in that position, and you could just put your index fingers that are combined pointed to your third eye. So just as I am, so our third eye, our pineal gland is just in between our eyebrows. And you could continue to just do that and set your energy there. And as you continue to have your intention there between your eyebrows, you could just start to see your chakra opening, and our third eye chakra is associated with our intuition. And feel this gradual increase of energy in our pineal gland. Feel it open and radiating light. As you do so, set the intention to let go of any negative or disruptive thoughts. Continue to relax. Continue to allow this energy center to open. And as it does, the light is coming through. Continue to relax your body. And as you do, become aware of the sensation getting stronger in between your eyebrows. And as your third eye is opening, your body is becoming lighter and lighter. You're feeling more relaxed as the light flows through your third eye. And as it does, ask your higher self, who is essentially the version of yourself that we created a few minutes ago. Ask them to fill you with pure white light, the light that fills throughout and every place in and around you. And as you do that, I want you to sit in silence for a few seconds and ask your higher self, is there anything that you need to know? Perhaps if you have a question, you can ask it. If you need some guidance, you can ask it. And the goal here is to just sit in silence, listen to your mind, allow any messages to appear. They may appear in the form of images, thoughts, or visions. In however form they come, just allow yourself a few seconds to allow those messages to come in. And when you're feeling called to, you could come back into the room, and I'm going to give you a few seconds to record anything that came up for you. If it was an image, feel free to write it down. And as you're doing that, I just want to remind you of the intention of this integration practice, and that is to really allow yourself that space when you need to do so, to be able to be present enough and communicate with your inner voice and ask for guidance when needed. So I'll give you a few seconds to do that. Morning and evening routines. So it's time to start showing up in the energy of the highest version of yourself in respect to your morning and evening routine. So we talked a lot about what's happening throughout your days in terms of that flow piece, that intention, and that awareness. So how are we starting our days and how are we ending our days? We talked about the feminine energy and balancing it with our masculine energy. And these practices will really allow us to do this. And not only that, it will really allow us to start incorporating mindfulness, which will help with that mental health piece as well. So some practices that typically we include in the morning, evening piece is meditation, grounding work, sitting in silence, listening to podcast audios, reading, scripting, journaling, affirmations. I'm going to go back to scripting in a second. It's a great tool for your tool bag. And, I want to highlight, maybe for you, this is a very intuitive practice, exactly what we just talked about a few seconds ago. Maybe, I do this at times, just wake up in the morning and ask yourself, what do I need to do today? In the sense of to start your day. Maybe it's a meditation, maybe it's a walk, maybe it's a workout at the gym. So just, allow that practice to really unfold intuitively versus having that structure. But the intentions of this is that, we want to set our day with that same amount of intention, right? And this allows us to do that. And then in the evening, our subconscious mind is highly suggestible. So you can really set the intention for the next day and the energy that you want to have for the next day, the evening prior. Okay, so you're not kind of rolling into day to day. And so a lot of these practices are common. and spoken about, and you probably already are tapped into a lot of them. I want to talk about scripting for a second before we move into the next piece, which is going to be a continuation of the scripting. So a lot of us journal, which is a super powerful practice. So where scripting is a little bit different is that we are scripting our outcomes like it already has happened. Okay, so you can do this for a specific upcoming event. You can do this for maybe a goal that you have. You can do this perhaps for your week ahead, for your day ahead. And it would sound something like this. So let's just say you're scripting for an upcoming meeting where you are presenting something very simple. I'm just going to intuitively just roll out what is coming up for me. I am so happy and grateful now that the meeting has been accomplished or has been done. Everybody was in attendance. Everybody was asking questions. They were engaged. They were reciprocating the energy that I had. Everybody was telling me, and I was hearing them tell me how great of a job that I did. I was seeing everybody clapping and asking questions and engaging. I am feeling, or I was feeling like I have arrived. I was feeling like I am ready for my next level. I am feeling fill in the blank, fill in the blank, fill in the blank. So you see what's happening there. I am scripting it like it's already happened. I'm attaching feeling to it through sensory, including what am I seeing, what am I hearing, what am I feeling. And the next component of that is mental rehearsing it every single day. Okay. So mental rehearsal is such a powerful technique for your tool bag. So you can essentially take what you script, okay, and run it through your mind like it's a movie, and that you're disassociated from it. So you're watching essentially yourself in a movie. See yourself running through that meeting. And again, the key here is feeling into that feeling. What are you feeling as you're running through that presentation? What are you seeing? What are you hearing? And continually to do this. And what is going to happen is that you are going to start to change yourself vibrationally. And remember, we attract what we are a vibrational match to. So this will start to change the chemistry of your body. This is as powerful as hypnosis. I highly recommend you, if it feels good to, incorporate this into your morning and evening practices, and also as well during the day. So high-level self-care rituals, the way we treat ourselves is a mirror of how people will treat us. It allows us to feel good, which heightens your point of attraction, and be tuned into abundance. So these are just some examples. Self-care also includes self-love, self-worthiness, setting boundaries, and that whole essence of really leaning into pouring into our own cup to the point that it is overflowing. And of course, this is important from a mental health perspective, but this is also important in terms of the manifestation piece, right? Because remember, I had talked about how a lot of us are working and trying to co-create from a place of lack and scarcity and survival, unregulated nervous systems. And you are going to start, I can promise you, you're going to start to attract different when you feel different, when you start to feel good, when you start to feel elevated emotions like joy, gratitude, appreciation. You are going to attract a whole different reality when you start to really allow yourself to be filled and taken care of and feeling good, essentially. So whatever that is that makes you feel good, do it. Whether it's a manicure, pedicure, going for a walk, going to the spa, having lunch with somebody that fills you up, whatever it is that makes you feel good, do. Intentional eating and movement. Again, the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. You are an intentional creator, and now you're going to be an intentional eater as well. Every time you eat something, ask yourself if it's going to get you closer to your goals or away from your goals. It's so important to move your body. Obviously, there's so many health benefits, but also allows you to balance your energy centers, allows you to release low vibrational emotions that aren't serving you. So when you start thinking about what you're going to do every day, and I want these to become non-negotiable, put them into your schedule. You are worth it. This is where you start to practice worthiness. Defining your why. This is so important that I thought that I would just add this into the master class. What is your why statement? So your why is your higher purpose that inspires you and acts as the source for all that you do. Having a strong why statement is the key to for staying motivated and focused and sets you apart from everyone else. Your why statement should be simple, clear, actionable, focus on how you will contribute to others, and express an affirmative language that resonates with you. And I put this in the masterclass for a couple of reasons. One, I want you to, for a second, reflect on the life that you created. I want you to ask yourself, why is it important for you to have that life? Why is it important for you to have more so you can give more? Why is it important for you to be a leadership and to have a leadership role and be a voice and an inspiration to others? Why is it important for you to dot, 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 dot? And I want to also include this because, when we're going through change work like this, it's not always easy, right? So when we're able to attach a strong why to it, in those moments where we ask ourselves, is this even worth it? Is this even going to happen for me? That's when we pull out our why from our tool bag and we allow ourselves to get refocused, realigned, and essentially refocused on why we're doing what we're doing. And I always recommend that my clients add an element of serving others to it because we're so easily quit ourselves, but we're less likely to quit on other people. So welcome to your new life. Now that you can envision it, you are ready to have it. Again, take note of anything that came up for it. Have appreciation that has come up. Your subconscious mind is telling you that it's ready to be worked on. And being able to work on these things are really going to allow you to expand and expand. And as you do, as you release and expand, you will be able to turn your vision board into reality with ease. So just a recap of what we have covered. We got crystal clear on what it is that you want because uncertainty holds a vibration. We got crystal clear on who is the version of ourselves that is going to make this happen so we can start showing up every day in identity. We're going to live every day with more intention because with intention comes awareness. We learn how to move away from the hustle by learning how to balance our masculine and feminine energy so that we always feel in flow. And we learn how to feel more physically and mentally, emotionally, and spiritually aligned. All right, just a little technical move there. So that when we are in inspired action, it feels good and safe. So here's the truth. You have the knowledge. You now have a tool bag full of tools. You have the passion, or else you wouldn't have invested in yourself and taken this time for you. And you have me. So in your heart of hearts, I know that you believe that things don't have to be hard and that you have everything inside of you right here in this moment. I know that you believe that you are ready to be aligned with a life full of abundance, purpose, authenticity, and to have an opulence mindset and lifestyle. I know you are tired of playing small, not using your voice, feeling stuck, not living to your full potential, because I know that you were born to rise, and I know that you believe that as well, regardless of where on your journey. So are you ready to make this happen for yourself? So I want to just share for the next 2 to 5 minutes a little bit more about how I work with those incredible people that I work with and how I really allow them to have a full holistic conscious, subconscious mind, body, spirit, energetic identity transformation, regardless of where they are on their journey, regardless if they are just starting out or they're already having a huge level of success and are ready to get to their next level. So I had mentioned prior when I was telling you a little bit about my story, I have spent the last decade or two really leaning into energy medicine. And I have taken what I know to be aspects of the most powerful practices and put them together in what I call the Born to Rise method. And this is what allows us to have that transformation. So you essentially have two choices. You can keep struggling, feeling frustrated, or you can get the guidance that you need. And that is essentially what I am. I am a guide. My clients do the work for themselves, on themselves. I am just guiding them. So Born to Rise is our 3-month one-on-one intensive mentoring program that is for any woman that has been letting this stuff hold her back for far too long and is ready for liberation. Like I had mentioned, it's a total holistic, conscious, subconscious, mind, body, spirit, identity, and energetic transformation. I just want to note that it is our 3 months intensive mentoring program. Historically, I have ran it as a one-on-one. However, I am going to be sharing something super exciting. But before I do, my intentions in when I'm spending those 3 months with you is to really allow ourselves to not only tap into that Born to Rise method, but hybrid that with a massive amount of change work. Remember, I had mentioned for long-term results, we really want to do that change work subconsciously and at the identity level. So let me ask you, what if in 3 months you're able to let go of the emotions that have been holding you hostage? Things, low vibrational emotions like anger, guilt, sadness, resentment, fear, hurt, and release them so that you can move forward. And obviously, subconsciously, they hold us back, but also it doesn't serve us at all at a physical level to be holding these type of low vibrational inner bodies. What if in 3 months you're able to reprogram the programming that has been living inside of you for far too long, keeping you from moving to your next level? Things like, I'm not worthy. I'm never going to make enough money to live the way I want. Money is hard. Be liberated of the beliefs that have been creating this fake picture in your mind and in your heart of capability. Things like that don't happen for me. Integrate internal conflicts so then you can move forward from a place of wholeness. For a lot of us, and I hear this all the time, we're trying to get where we want, but we have a lot of what we call in NLP moving parts. So part of us wants to be an entrepreneur. Part of us wants to have the security of a salary job. Part of us wants to be in a relationship. Part of us wants to have the independence of not being in a relationship. Part of us wants to have money, but part of us doesn't want to deal with what having money comes with. Will my relationships change? How will people treat me? Right? So again, we're sending a lot of mixed signals to the universe. So how can the universe grant you and bring you what you want when you don't even know what you want? And so the intention of integrating these internal conflicts, and when we do, it's so powerful because what we end up realizing that even though it seems like they're conflicting, a lot of the moving parts that we have are actually very similar. And when we're able to align them, we're able to move forward to a place of wholeness and alignment and clarity. Create massive shifts in habits, behaviors, and in your identity. What if 3 months you were able to attract into your life beyond your wildest dreams by operating the frequency of your higher self with ease and intention? What if in 3 months you're able to heal your body, your mind, and have mind, body, and spirit alignment? And what if in 3 months you were never more clear, more excited of where you're going and who you need to be to get there? So if I had to put a monetary value on my modules, that is what they will be, and you will find out why. So predominantly when I'm working with somebody, the first thing I do is really lean into what I call the foundation, the fundamentals of any other work that we're going to do. So things like our why statement or core values and principles, our life purpose statement, our personal mission statement, really the catalyst of why we do what we do. Then we're going to lean into things like the prime directives of the subconscious mind. Our subconscious mind is the most powerful tool that we have. Why not understand how it works? The model of communication is so powerful. This really will allow us to understand how we process things, how others are processing things. So not only is it going to help you be a more effective communicator, it's also going to allow you to be more compassionate to people. The universal laws, we talked a little bit about that this evening or during this masterclass, sorry. And the reality is they're always working. So why not learn more about them so we can work in unison with them and not against them and not in flow with them. Module 2, release to move forward. This is where a lot of that change work happens. And again, we're doing the change work and the releasing work so we can make room for new beliefs, new programming, new paradigms, new way of living, a new identity, feeling new energy, feeling new emotions, new. Obviously, this comes with an element of forgiveness work, some inner child work, but it is a lot of change work. Embracing your new flow. And once you've started to release and you start to showing up in new energy, this is when we're going to really deep dive in some of the things that we've talked about in this masterclass. So things like showing up with more intention, more awareness, balancing your masculine and feminine energy, starting to lean into your intention so you always feel guided. Transcend into your higher self. This is where you're going to continue to elevate and ensure and hold yourself accountable for showing up in every area of your life as this higher version of yourself and really filling your tool bag with some of the things that we talked about today and even more so. Module 5, tune into abundance. This is predominantly a lot of money work. Money work is something that we all have and continue to have. So we are going to really dissect your financial blueprint, your current money programming paradigms, and rewire it, reformulate it, transform it so it is aligned with where you are going financially. Stepping into your power. This is where we're going to start talking about things like setting boundaries. What are you no longer available for? How are you going to start using your voice more? How are you going to start stepping in your power more? Where are you leaking out your power? We're going to start leaning into leadership practices, even if you may not necessarily have a leadership role at work. And, typically, even if it might not be by title, we're all leaders. Every day we're showing up as leaders for ourselves and to others. So how can we really lean into what that looks like? We're going to tap into things like emotional intelligence. They say that having a high emotional intelligence is even more effective than having a high IQ, sorry. And I totally believe that. So how can we start to really learn how to understand and manage our emotions so our emotions are not managing and controlling us? Module 7, creating our dream life. And this is such a powerful module because, we've done a lot of energy work up to now. And what we're going to really do is add in that structure, set up NLP SMART goals for every area of your life, set up outcomes, creating achievable outcomes for each area of your life, reverse engineering backwards. What do you need to start doing today to make them materialize? What do you need to start doing tomorrow and the next day? And really leaning into the strategy piece. And, the intention I have with everybody that I work with is allowing them the space to become their own elite coaches. And this is what this module is going to really allow you to do. So then when you move forward after the 3 months, unless you decide to work with me continually, regardless if you do or not, it doesn't really matter because I'm not living with you, right? I want you to get to the point that you're able to recognize things and really have that elevated high level awareness and intention so that you can essentially be your own elite coach every moment of your day, because this really is moment to moment work. Now let's recap. If I attach a monetary value to all my modules, that is what that would be. So I had said historically I ran Born to Rise as a one-on-one container. So introducing our first ever and going forward, this will be how I will be running Born to Rise on a continual basis. It'll be running continually throughout the entire year as a mastermind. And so what does that mean? Oh, I got chills just reading that. So Born to Rise will be run as a mastermind, like I said, continually throughout the whole year. And it was important for me to do this because I wanted to add a component of community to it, because there's so much power of being in a community, with like-minded individuals that are on the same journey as you. But I did want to sacrifice that one-on-one intimacy work that is so powerful, because that's where the real change work comes. So the Born to Rise Mastermind is going to be a hybrid, still a 3-month container, but it's going to be a hybrid of the one-on-one intimacy work, the group portion, as well as the self-paced portion. So exciting. So what does that exactly look like? It's going to be, again, still a 3-month container. It's going to be 12 calls a month, so 4 every week. And sorry, I said that wrong. 12 calls in total, 4 calls every month for the 3 months. Half of those will be group calls and half of that will be one-on-one calls. So 2 one-on-one, 2 group. So you get the benefit of that power of that energy exchange. And then you also get the power of having that one-on-one change work as well. Of course, you'll have unlimited access to me for the 3 months through a messaging platform that we both agree on, support guide with trackers, integration exercises, lifetime access to our Born to Rise online portal, which is so close to launching. And of course, a small intimate of high-level women on the same journey of expansion that you can learn from, that you can be inspired from and aspire onto them, and just have the most powerful exchange of reciprocated energy. For anybody that acts within the 24 hours of watching this masterclass, I will also honor for you a bonus emotional freedom technique, hypnotherapy, Reiki session, and a customized recorded meditation and hypnosis. So just to recap, if I put monetary value on my modules, and of course, the mentoring component that comes with this Born or in this Born to Rise Mastermind, it would be a total of $8,888. If you go onto our website, you will see that it is $3,000. As a masterclass special and as a thank you for viewing and really showing up for yourself in this masterclass, I am opening the doors to Born to Rise, our Born to Rise masterclass to you for the one payment of $2,222. And if you pay in full, you will get 2 bonus coaching sessions with myself, or for payments of $555. So essentially, you will be saving $777 USD from our current website price. So really, I had 2 choices. I could have just ran it as a group coaching program that would essentially leverage my time and my business, but then I would not be able to honor the one-on-one work that I know is going to be a component of how this is going to change your life. So my second choice was to require a little higher investments than just running it as a group and be able to really fill those 3 months with that component of one-on-one group and unlimited support, supplemental resources, so you can truly have that full transformation. Now you have 2 choices. The first choice is decide not to take action in your life, not ever to change your life, and always probably live with those what ifs. What if I did that? What if, what if, what if? No what ifs in 2024. Or your second choice is take a leap of faith, say yes to you and the life and freedom that you want and you crave, or else you would not have sat through this masterclass and integrated all the practices, all the amazing practices that we talked about. So are you ready to make this happen for yourself? Imagine how many shifts you just got in the last few minutes together. Imagine what you can do in 3 months together with mentorship. So I am going to just shift myself over here. I want to thank you so much for spending the last few minutes with me. I hope and I know that it has changed your life already in a huge way. If you're feeling called to know more about our mastermind, our Born to Rise mastermind, and how we're going to be moving forward with it, please do not hesitate to DM me on any of the social media platforms. You can email me at laura@laurasansel.com. I will be limiting, even though it will be a continual mastermind that will be running, I will be limiting how many people are enrolled on it, just so we can uphold the intimacy of the mastermind and the work that we are doing. So to take advantage of this masterclass special, reach out to me again on any of the social media platforms, or email me at laurasansel.com. It has been my honor to spend the last few minutes with you, and I cannot wait to hear and see all the shifts that come from it.